what is autism? Okay, autism is it's a disability. It's a cognitive disability. It's usually diagnosed between the ages of 2.5, 3 years old. Okay, that's kind of how it happened with my son. My son was 2.5 when he was diagnosed. It's a spectrum, and the word spectrum is in its name for a reason. Okay, there is a vast way that this affects individuals, and the cliche in my world, and especially in these world, is if you've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. Okay, that's challenging for me as a trainer and as a teacher to train this kind of thing, because if you're like me, you want a template. Like, okay, what is it? How do I identify it? How do I handle it? And then you want a spreadsheet that if you see this, you do this, you do this. I can't do that. I can't give that to you. All I can do is give you a perspective in it, give you a little bit of glimpse into the autistic mind, and explain to you how it's different and how it's a different operating system than a neurotypical individual, and give you a set of tools and information that you can reach into while you're dealing with these calls and these individuals, that you can use and try and access as you see fit. Okay, so that's kind of what my role is here. All right. It's broken down into low, medium, and high functioning by the experts. I'm not a fan of that, but it is what it is. It's how they do it. I think it's way oversimplified to say somebody's low, middle, or high functioning. But let's just talk about that for a minute and just go over it. High functioning autism is very, very difficult to even identify or notice out in the world. And there are millions of individuals who are on the autism spectrum who are highly functioning, who have jobs, who have careers, who have families, kids, and we interact with them on a daily basis. When you close this training down and you go to the convenience store, or you make a motor vehicle stop, chances are you will interact with somebody on the spectrum today. Okay, these individuals are very intelligent. They're able to communicate very well. Sometimes they're gifted intellectually, and they are functioning amongst us. That's high functioning. On the low functioning side, you have individuals who require 24-hour care, who need consistent care just to eat, to bathe themselves, to clothe themselves, to function, and they are severely affected by the vast array of clinical things that go along with autism. Okay, and then you have everybody in the middle. Okay, and individuals are all along this continuum, this spectrum of being impacted by autism. Let's go through some numbers, okay, because this really brings home the scope of the autism spectrum and what it is in our society now. 5.4 million individuals over the age of 18 are currently living in the United States with autism. There's a large number of individuals who have not yet been diagnosed with autism that adds to this number. But for our purposes, 5.4 million adults over 18 in the United States on the autism spectrum. That's an important number because for some reason, our society, when we talk about autism, our mind goes automatically to kids, and we think of kids. And I'm just as guilty as anybody with that. But as my son grows, and now he's 17, growing to be an adult, my mindset is changing towards adults, not 4 and 5 year olds anymore, but 30, 40, 50-year-old individuals out there on the autism spectrum with challenges and something we have to be cognizant of and empathetic towards. Okay, it's roughly 2.2% of the population, by the way, so it's a pretty large number. This number changes every once in a while. The experts will adjust this number, but currently the most up-to-date number I can find is 1 in 54 children are diagnosed with autism today. That number is growing exponentially as the as the data comes in, then we get better at the testing protocols and diagnosis of these individuals. But currently, 1 in 54 children today are diagnosed with autism. For some reason, we don't know why yet. There's a couple of different theories. 1 in 34 boys are diagnosed with autism. It affects more boys than girls for some reason.